Hi guys. Oh, lots of you in the chat. This isn't a bandage. This is what I use to not make marks on Procreate when I'm drawing. Oh, lots of you already here. Hi. I like it. There's already a mention of Iron Brew, fruit pastels, pizza, and chocolate. This is all of this is things are things I approve of. I am expecting a cider delivery very shortly. Not from outside, from lovely wife Helen downstairs. Can you all hear me okay? Just realised I was really far away from the microphone there. Let me just, sorry if this is really noisy, but let me just move it a tad. I don't want to, how's that? Is that okay? Oh, Annette, I'm sorry you've got tummy ache. That's rubbish. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're all here. What is this hair, girl? What is happening here? You know, I'm going to come out of isolation and the one thing that I'm going to notice more than anything else is the grey hairs coming through. Because it's a moment, girl. It's a moment. Hard or soft cider? I am having toffee apple cider, which is the softest of all soft fizzy ciders. Guys, I love that we're all talking about food, but now I'm just jelly because I can't have any more food. We had a roast tonight. Oh, a cider delivery hath appeared.
Special delivery.
Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you so much. Mwah. Early, lovely. You're not even gonna wave before you leave. That was rude.
Hello.
Hello. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Have fun.
Thank you. And you.
Yeah, well. So I've got non-spawn, completely non-spawn, but I've got Brothers Toffee Apple Cider, which is the bestest. And I also have my Hogwarts glass if I want to be decadent, but probably not. Although I feel like I should pour something into my Hogwarts glass so that you can see the colours change. Will I do that? I'm scared to do it like, right, okay, is that centred? Okay, I'm scared to do it. Are the colours changing? Can you see? Is it getting better? Yeah, there we go, look! All the house colours are appearing. It's probably not great on camera. It's better here. Everything's getting darker. When you put cold things in it, the colours start to appear. Oh, it's not a sore hand. Right, I'm going to take it off. Because people are going to think that this is... No, this is my drawing glove. So that when my hand touches the iPad, I don't make marks on it. Don't worry, there's nothing wrong with my hand. I'm all good. I was just having a little Michael Jackson drawing moment. Right, okay, let me see. Who is all here? Toffee apple cider. It actually tastes exactly like toffee apples. Like, terrifyingly so. And I'm also repping a little bit of Ursula. Got a little bit of Ursula going on. Because that's how I feel. I put a bra back on for you guys, so you should... I expect you to be grateful. Hi, Cuddle Books. That is the cutest name ever. Okay. Hi, Najat. Yes, Rachel. Hogwarts all the way. Although I keep wanting to reach for the actual... Bottle. That's without any cider. Ugh, Tony, no. Parma Violet's awful. That's just... No, that's cancelled. You're cancelled. I'm joking. I'm joking, Amy. Tony, I love you very much. Wow. I'm doing really well with my words so far. So, how are you all, guys? I need to know. How have you been since last we spoke? I think it was... When did we last speak? Was it Wednesday? Was the last stream on Wednesday? I have no concept of time anymore. I've been working really like super overtime hard on getting my shop update live, so I just haven't been around. I have had my head down and my bum up, as we do say here in Scotland. Leanne, can you please be stern with me? I'm really struggling with my reading right now. Please tell me off. No, I refuse. Okay. And just in case it's your thing. Bad. Read more. But no, don't read more. Like, do you know, if you're not feeling it, it's okay. What I discovered a little while ago was that through all of this experience, I am more and more realizing that, like, reading is my happy place. And because it's my happy place, sometimes you retreat to your happy place, but sometimes you want to protect your happy place from everything else that's going on. And I realized that what I was continually thinking was, what if the only memory I have of this book that I may potentially love is that I read it in isolation? And I'm like, well, that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad memory, but also I didn't necessarily want that to be the memory that I had for oh, it's my dog's barking outside. I didn't want that necessarily to be the memory that I had for books, and so I was putting them off because I was like, I don't want to read an amazing book and then the memory that I have of it is not just that it was an amazing book, but you hold on to times and places, right? Like, I remember reading Rebecca for the first time, travelling to and from work on a bus, in like my very early 20s, going through Princess Street Gardens in Edinburgh, and I remember, like, when somebody bumped into me with a coffee and spilt it on the book, and, like, you know, the whole thing, you remember the whole thing, and I didn't want that to be my memory. And then I realised the other day what I was doing, and now I'm like, okay, step away from the crazy. It's okay. If you can't read right now, that's totally fine. Try an audiobook. And if an audiobook's not working, go watch trash TV. God knows that's what I've been doing recently. Time is an illusion, quarantine doubly so. Kindergarten, I love that. Have been playing Spyro on Xbox One. Okay, guys, so Animal Crossing is about to enter my house tomorrow. I don't have time. I don't have time to do anything with it. Because I have to work. I have to work really hard on my shop. So you all are gonna have to keep me accountable that I don't end up falling down the Animal Crossing rabbit hole. How else have you been? It's been a bit of a roller oh, Cappuccino Crafts, I'm really sorry that it's been a bit up and down. But I think that's also okay. Lots of positive stuff happened on the news today. While there's also, you know, like, lots of negative stuff. So it's like, I think everybody's on this journey, right? But cider and friends and books help. Ooh, Barbara, I have so many new things. So many new things. And luckily some of my suppliers started back yesterday or the day before that. And I'm really, somebody is listening to the radio in their car ridiculously loudly right outside my window, and I really have turned into that old lady who's just like, get away from my house, leave. It's really like, I have turned into that person. Oh, Anthony, man, you managed to get a sunburn. Do you know what? I actually told one of my friends from BookTube off when she posted a picture today of her in the sun, and I was like, girl, sun cream and self-care. I think it's because I'm so aware of it. Like, I burnt this hand, you probably can't see it on camera, but I burnt this hand the other day sitting in here just because I pulled the nets back. Because I've got vitiligo, I think I'm so conscious of the fact that it's like, it's so easy to burn yourself and really hurt yourself. So I'm like, oh, hi Smitten for Fiction from Canada. I want to go to Canada someday. I've rediscovered it seems I've rediscovered a love for all the books on my shelves at the same time. Oh, and I feel that. I walked past my non-fiction shelf the other day and I was like, it was just like a beacon. I was like, oh, all the books. I want to read all the books, but I want to read them at the same time, which is the issue. Oh, Maria, it was really good that you saw your mum today. I spent 5 hours today with my mum on FaceTime. So we usually do it on a Sunday. My mum will usually come around and we will be on FaceTime and she will do cross stitch or other crafts and I will work on my shop. And we ended up spending like 5 hours today. She was doing jigsaws, I was working, my dad was in the background watching endless news, but it was just super nice. And I think it was a reminder of how everybody's coping as well, because my mum's a key worker, she's a food production worker, so she is in and out a lot. And my dad has been furloughed and is in one of the top sort of risk groups, like Lovely Wife Helen, and so it's really funny because my dad's going out but obviously being careful, whereas we're completely shielding, and then my mum's seeing normal daily life carrying on, and we're all dealing with it in really different ways. My dad is just addicted to the news that he can't turn it off. I don't want to hear it anymore, I'm done with it. And my mum has a really sort of, well, life has to go and I'm just going to sit and do a jigsaw attitude. So maybe we should all be a bit more like Janet sometimes. Hi Molly! Can anybody tell me what's the difference between a switch and a switch light? Has anybody answered that? Yeah, so basically the difference is the switch light is all one piece. It's just one handheld, like a PSP or a DS. It's all handheld, but the actual Switch has a slightly bigger screen. I think I haven't held one in person, but it has a slightly bigger screen, and the two controllers at either side can detach, and you can play multiplayer. You can dock it to your TV and stuff. Personally, I'm not we've got a Switch Lite. I'm not a handheld gaming person. I'm not a multiplayer gaming person. I'm a handheld gaming person, so that's the difference. Are you struggling like I am for my fur baby? She wants to go out all the time, and with one walk a day, she's really got the sulk. Oh, yeah. So our boys we have a really weird mix of animals in my house. We've got the two miniature schnauzers who are 10 now, and they are happy with their one walk a day, and then they want to sleep. But the two younger boys, the bigger boys, are lurchers crossed with Springer Spaniels, and they're young, and they are full of nonsense. And if we don't play with them during the day, they go nuts. So the one walk a day is that they're missing, because we did actually have a dog. Well, we do have a dog walker. We have a lovely dog walker called Gemma, who comes in and walks them for half an hour 3 days a week to give them 2 walks a day, because Helen and I are really busy when this is not happening, and they're missing that a lot. But we've been doing structured play. We've been doing games that engage them to use their nose, because dogs are nose, eyes, ears, and we are eyes, ears, nose, or something, one of those combinations. And so getting them to use their natural senses and find things, find hidden treats, and teaching them new tricks and stuff like that has been keeping us going. Amy says, when not reading, I watch things like Masterpiece Theatre episodes. Yes, we've been rewatching Drag Race season 6. I'm missing my Bianca Del Rio phone case more than any. Don't get me wrong, Arthur Shelby is also a love, but I'm missing my Bianca phone case now, rewatching this season. So we've been doing that. Like I say, I've been endlessly working on my shop. Lovely Wife Helen has been out in the garden this week. She has been weeding and things like that, and she's loving being able to just go outside and do stuff. Yeah, Tony, I'm exactly like that now. Like, not reading for 11 days or reading 3 books in 2 days is what Tony has said. That is exactly how I am. And yet, Anthony, that is literally the only difference between the two. One, you can dock to your TV and do multiplayer, and the other you hold in your hands. I do think there's I might be wrong, because the joy controllers are exactly the same, so the screen might not be bigger. I might just have made that up, but it looks bigger. But I haven't held one, so I don't know. But they play exactly the same things. So Animal Crossing is getting here tomorrow, and so is Crash Bandicoot, Flash from the past. I'm aware I sound like a show-off, but I'm going to volunteer with my local food bank on Tuesday, and I'm so excited to be getting out and doing things, wearing a mask and gloves. Kendall, that is not showing off at all. Well done for doing that. That's amazing. I think people who are able to go and do stuff like that are absolute superheroes right now. And I love The Sims. I'm a Sims stan. Oh, Barbara. Yes, so Barbara's pointed out Lovely Wife Helen is now on Instagram with the handle Lovely Wife Helen. So if you want random pictures of puppies, kitties, food in the garden, then that is the account that you want to be following. You want to be following Lovely Wife Helen. Oh no. Angharad, is that how you pronounce your name? I'm sorry if I butchered that, but you were in the garden, you injured your thumb, and it got infected and bleeding, so you've had to put a plaster on it, which you're having an allergic reaction to, and you're on antibiotics. That is the worst. Oh my god. That is the worst, but that's me. I am that person. I'm that person. I feel it. Oh, Cuddle Books, welcome to the introvert fam. I feel like the introverts of this world are the ones that are keeping the extroverts going right now. The introverts are teaching the extroverts how to introvert, and it's trippy and amusing. And okay, so before I go any further, guys, I want to tease you with something. That sounds illicit, but it's not, I promise. Tomorrow at 7 PM British Standard Time, you need to keep an eye on my channel, and also on BookTube in general, because tomorrow there is an amazing announcement video going up on my channel for a project that I am super proud, like, I'm getting emotional talking about it, that I'm super proud to be. I'm getting super emotional. Jeez, here we go. I knew I wasn't going to get through this without getting weepy. A project that I'm super, super proud to be a part of, with some awesome people who are just amazing, and I'm really fortunate that I get to talk to them every day. But there is an announcement going up tomorrow for something that you guys are going to be able to get involved in, which is a new project. I'm trying to think of other things that I can tease without giving anything away. Oh, it's really hard. It involves a couple of my BookTube besties, and we all figured that we're stuck at home right now and we can't be doing things to help, so we've decided to find a way to help that also involves all of you guys. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna stop talking about it now because I've made myself emotion, and I need to not do that, because this is a happy stream. We're all here for the happy stuff. So yes. Oh, Smitten for Fiction, thank you for confirming it's not just in my head. The screen is bigger. Is it a lot bigger? Is it like a lot bigger, or is it just a little bit bigger? Tony, you're at risk, but you're going out once a week for your sanity and once every 4 weeks for injections. Yeah, it's a weird balance, isn't it? because I don't want to talk too much about this situation, because I feel like people come here to like take a step back and just chill and have fun, but it's difficult because there's not an end date, right? So you have to weigh up risk against like quality of life and also mental health, is what I will say. Obviously being safe and careful the whole time, but yes. 7 p.m. UK British Standard Time. British Summer Time, not British Standard Time. Helen tells me off for that all the time. British Summer Time. Oh, Dina, it's rubbish, isn't it? So I'll be streaming next week. I think I'm streaming on Saturday instead of Sunday. It'll be up at some point after this stream. And I'm going to be going live later next week, guys. I'm going to be going live at 10 p.m. Next weekend, because I want to try and accommodate some people who are in different time zones and always are coming to the lives just as we finish, and I want everybody to be able to get involved. Dina, if you Google, there's a website called Time Converter, and like you can literally drag and drop your time and the other person's time, and it'll do the difference for you. Because I can't do numbers, so like any numbers, so like trying to convert times and stuff is just awful. So constantly when I'm talking to Kirsty about recording podcast episodes, I'm like, can you just give it to me in my time? Because I don't know. So when we talked about last week on the stream, and when I did a poll, people were saying that they missed doing reading sprints. So is that something that we would like to do today? Let me know if we would like to do some reading sprints. If not, I have some fun tag questions that we can answer instead together. And I had an idea. When I was straightening my hair and waiting for my cider delivery and waiting for the stream to start, I had an idea. I thought on one of the next streams that we do, we can do a live scavenger hunt. So I was thinking, I will be here in this room, and from the chat, I will get you guys to give me prompts to find books on my bookshelves, and I will find books that fit with your prompts on my bookshelves, and I will pull them out and I will talk to you about them. What do you think? Do you like that idea? Hi, books at the bottom of the stairs. I feel like I'm always here, girl. I live here. I was talking to the wonderful Victoria from What Victoria Read on BookTube today. And she was like, I can hear how tired your voice is. Are you sure you're going to stream? And I'm like, yes, I am going to stream, because it gives me life, and I'm share my cider with you, and we go and chat books, and I always leave the streams happier than when I came in. Always, no matter what. Starts thinking up tricky prompts. You evil girl. You evil. Yay! Okay, so if we like that idea, next week. Will it be next week? Yes. Let me check dates. Okay. One of the upcoming streams, I will specifically label the stream a scavenger hunt. And you guys can be evil to me. I will rig up the camera more like over here, and I'll be up there where this is. You're not being filmed right now, by the way. I'm lazy and I haven't put my camera away from filming today. I took a week off filming. Don't know if you noticed. I took a week off, and I decided that I was gonna just for 5 minutes, and now I've got another backlog of videos to edit and get up. So Videos are coming. Yay! Cool. Okay. If you want a reading sprint, we'll make it easy. Even if you're not chatting in the chat with us, if you would like a reading sprint, if you want to watch and join in with a reading sprint, just type reading sprint in the comments. If you would prefer to do a tag and for me to keep chatting, then throw tag or chat in the comments and we can do either of those. I feel like I'm going to be really burpy on this stream because I have cider, but cider's nummy, so you just have to put up with it. Hi Tina! Oh, girl, napping sounds great. I like the idea of napping. Yes, so if you've just turned up, a few people have just joined, so if you just turned up, if you want to do a reading sprint on this stream, type reading sprint in the comments, and if you want to answer some tag questions as a group and to keep chatting instead, then put that in the comments as well, just so I know. Okay. Can we expect more reading vlogs? Yes. As part of the project, there's more people who have joined. Hi guys. As part of the project, which I am announcing tomorrow at 7 PM British Summer Time, just in case I haven't mentioned that enough. As part of that, there will be a vlog at the end of that. There is also a vlog coming up for all of next month. I'm doing a project for the whole month next month. So there should be a monthly vlog. It's going to be great fun. Oh man. I like it. Short reading sprint, then tag, and that is a good shout. We're about half and half, guys. Shall we do a reading sprint then a chat? Shall we do that? Shall we do a reading sprint and then a tag? Let me know what you think. I'm okay with that. Yay! Choices. I'm gonna have to get my book then if we go and do a reading sprint. Part of my brain just went, you could start a new book, Leanne. You could start any new book that's behind you. I was like, no. Why not both? Yes, Tina, I think that's what we're going to end up doing. I think it looks like we're pretty firmly split between the two, so why don't we do a reading sprint? I'll talk for another 5 minutes and then we can do a reading sprint, and then I will find, I've got a couple of options for tags. I'll find a fun tag for us all to do together. How does that sound? Epic. Okay. So I have a choice then. I have a choice. I'm reading a couple of things. I'm reading Lock Every Door by why can't I get the name of that book? I am reading Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, which is my Patreon book club book of the month. It's really difficult to say. Yeah, if you're looking for a fun little community to come read books with in a very positive way with lots of really lovely people and very chill, then you can find us on my Patreon link, which should be in the description for this video. So I'm reading that, but I'm reading that on my Kindle and my eye is actually going blurry right now. I need less screen time. In fact, I'm going to turn my brightness down a little bit. I need less screen time. So I've got a choice. I can continue on with the family upstairs. I want to say the upstairs family because of the upstairs room by Kate Murray Brown, which is an awesome supernatural psychological horror. That's a lot of tags to put on a book. I could continue reading the family upstairs, or I could start the murders at White House Farm. What do you think I should do? Do you think I should carry on with my thriller, or should I pick up some true crime? Oh, Sherry Parr, you are reading Karen Slaughter. Which one are you reading? What is everybody else reading? If we're going to do a reading sprint, what is everybody else reading? Oh no, Tina! It's okay. It's going to be 10 minutes for me to pick a book and then we can start. So don't worry. It's all good. Love that everybody's like both. Okay. Both sounds good. That's what we're doing. Anthony is just starting the Dresden Files book 2. Anthony, here's the thing. I love the TV show of the Dresden Files, and I've read the first book of the Dresden Files, and I really love the plot. I really love the side characters, but I hate Harry Dresden. Is that controversial? Was I accidentally controversial? Yeah! Sherry's reading The Good Daughter. Claps in the chat for Sherry. Claps in the chat. We love The Good Daughter. Everybody should read The Good Daughter. I've just finished Pretty Girls. Pretty Girls was like 5 stars, knock it out the park for me. It's not as good as The Good Daughter, but it's better than Pieces of Her, because everything's better than Pieces of Her. I'm sorry, cider is making me very burpy, but I'm not going to give away the cider. Ooh, Z Spumoni. I'm really bad at people's usernames. Is reading Cold Comfort Farm. I love Cold Comfort Farm. Yes, Katie! Andy McNabb's Next Stone series on book 14. That is a freaking achievement, my friend. That is a freaking achievement. You should read the thriller because I want to know what you think so that I know whether to pick it up. Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, the required reading rebel is reading Pages & Co. The second one in Pages & Co. I have the first one. I'm very excited for that. Cappuccino Crafts, you're reading The Three Body Problem. The Three Body Problem is a very philosophical, theoretical, math-based sci-fi book, which I'm going to turn on. I should turn on another light. Hold on. Because it's getting dark. Well, it's not really getting dark. It's quite bright in here, but my webcam thinks it's dark. So, woohoo! We have light. Yeah, that'd be too much for my brain right now. Cappuccino Crafts. That's a lot. It's a lot, girl. That's a lot. My Bookish Empire. You're reading The Enlightenment of the Green Gage Tree. Oh, for the International Booker Prize. That's really interesting because I have not. Do you know it's kind of weird? I have a love-hate relationship with prizes because I don't generally like the way that they are nominated. However, the International Man Booker has traditionally been a really good list for me to read from. So, Maria, you're still reading The Graces. Maria, how far are you through? Because I think, were you reading it, was it Wednesday? We talked about that on the stream. Oh, Phoenix, you are reading the first pages of Back Powder War. I love the Temeraire books. The first 3, actually, I've just talked about Naomi Novik on a book that I filmed the other day. I feel like Aunt Middleton is staring at us right now. Can you see this? I feel like he's judging us. I feel like I should cover Aunt. Oh, Anthony, okay. Yeah, otters are cute. This is true, but Harry is a dweeb. He is. Kenda Quenta is reading David Copperfield in paper copy and The Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics. I love that. Kendall, you're making your way slowly through the Diviners. Awesome book. You just can't concentrate on anything for shit. Yes, girl. I feel that. Everything that I've picked up recently has been amazing. It's just that my brain refuses to cooperate. I'm really behind in the chat. Oh, I see. Carry on. Lovely wife Helen has joined. I deeply suspect she's late because she was cleaning the kitchen after the massive roast that she made us. Maria, don't bother with Pieces of Her. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Just back away. I finished the washing up so I can participate. Didn't I tell you? I knew that would be what she was doing. Einhorn Harad says, I'm just about to start reading Misery by Stephen King, and I'm about a third way through Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay, so Prisoner of Azkaban's the best Harry Potter book. Fight me. You guys say I should get my thriller, so I'm gonna get my thriller off the bedside cabinet. Get your books at the ready. And I'm back in a second. I forgot actually, I'm also still reading Fifth Elephant by Terry Pratchett, so I could have indulged in a bit more of that, but I shan't. I shall. Yes, lovely wife Helen is reading Pretty Girls because she heard me rave about it. So burpy, so much cider burpy. Oh, excuse me. Yes, roast was amazing. Roast was massive fun. Leah says she's reading The Evolution. Leah, what is The Evolution about? Please tell me. I have The Family Upstairs right here. And this is actually a really amazing book. And I'm hopeful that Lisa Jewell, got a strange notification on my phone. I'm hopeful that Lisa Jewell is going to become like a staple favorite, half a glass of cider. Favorite. I'm hoping that she's going to become a favorite and that I'm going to end up reading more from her. Huge backlist, massive backlist. Has anybody else read Lisa Jewell? Check in. Candy Quenta, the only kind of roast. Has anybody else read any Lisa Jewell? And what do you think I should go on to next after The Family Upstairs? If it doesn't crash and burn in the last third, because realistically, that's what happens with some thrillers. Oh, good morning, Beck. You have just picked up The Moment You Were Gone by Nikki Gerard. Ooh, that sounds good. Oh, Leah, it's the second book in the Eve of Man series by Giovanni and Tom Fletcher. Okay, so those are supposed to be really cute books. So I am hoping that you are enjoying it. Yay, Smitten for Fiction. I'm really enjoying this. I'm about a third of the way through. Can I just show you all my bookmark, by the way, while I'm here? I was going to do a video on BookTube for my favourite reading accessories. And one of my favourite reading accessories are bookmarks, because I am not a page dog eater. Emma, if you are watching this at any point, you are a heathen. I don't dog ear pages. And so I have a huge collection of beautiful bookmarks from like small businesses, but this is one of my favourite bookmarks here. These are they're just so beautiful. I wish the colours were showing up better on camera, but these are all watercolour patterns. I think I have all of them, but this is from Elena Illustrations, who is one of my absolutely sweetest small business friends. So if you're looking for some nice bookmarks and you've run out of mine to collect, go over to Elena's Etsy store. She's amazing, but it's so cute, and I literally have them in like every one of my books. I feel like I haven't read a book in the last little while that hasn't had this one in it, or the one that my mum cross-stitched for me. The Family Upstairs was 5 stars. Watching You was 4 stars. Okay, that is a definite vote for Watching You. Usually if I don't have a recommendation for what to go on to next when I've read something from somebody's backlist, I will just go on to Goodreads. Oh my god, excuse me. I'm not going to drink cider on stream ever again. Hold me to this. I usually go into Goodreads and I look up the next one that has got the highest rating, like, in their backlist, and I'll start with that. But that has burned me a few times. Okay, I'm going to get my timer ready. So if you guys have just joined, because there's a few new guys, we're about to do a reading sprint. I am having issues because I'm drinking cider and trying not to burp really close to the microphone. I'm super classy. Okay. Molly said, you nearly bought some from there. Are they good quality? Mine get a bit beaten. Absolutely. I don't know, Molly. I don't know if you've got any of my bookmarks, but it's the same place that makes them. Elena was actually the one who put me onto the manufacturer for these. They are not... This is me putting a good deal of pressure on them. They're at least 350 GSM, if not 400, I would say. Mine get a proper beating too, and the corners haven't even frayed yet. So these are great. If you missed it, this is Elena Illustrations. On Etsy, okay. Oh, Cappuccino Crafts, you've been crocheting bookmarks. I have been on an absolute, I've been on an absolute bookmark knitting spree. You guys are insane right now for the Harry Potter bookmarks. And I have sold out twice this week. So I haven't weaved in any of the ends. But we've got Hufflepuff. I've got 3 Hufflepuff ones going out tomorrow. A Ravenclaw one. And a Slytherin one. So I have to weave in all the ends and put the fringing and stuff on. This is what they look like when they're finished. Yeah, so you guys are going nuts. I'm now knitting another Ravenclaw one. You guys are going absolutely insane for these. Thank you so much if you placed an order on my store. I am getting there. I'm getting there. Right. Are we ready? I love cider, but it runs right through you, Anthony. I think we should do... How about a 15-minute sprint? How does that sound? I feel like 20 minutes is maybe too long. But 15 minutes sounds good. How does that sound? Do we agree? Seems like your lives always come in perfect for my after workout stretch sessions. Well done for doing stretch sessions, Franca, but yeah, yeah, and the entertainment after the exercise. I'm not doing the most exercise I have had in the last 4 weeks. Are we on week 4? Is jumping about for a video, dragging stuff off my shelves, and walking to my fridge. Okay, 15 minutes it is. I will... Arthur Shelby shall keep time. Once I find my timer. 15 minutes. Oh no, not 15 hours. That would be too long. I love you, but I don't love you that much. And definitely there would be bathroom breaks in that. Okay, so 15 minutes starting. Oh, Angahard, I bought a Slytherin and Ravenclaw bookmark from you. Got the Slytherin for my sister's 21st birthday. So excited to use them. Ah, yay! Woohoo! That's good. Okay. 15 minutes, and then I'm going to answer. If you leave questions in the comments or do chat, I will read it after we have done our 15-minute sprint. So starting now. I'll turn the sound on so you can hear my really annoying thing. Let's go. I need cider. Oh yeah, I was on the creepy guy. helping. Oi. It's Mummy's cider. Leave it. Did I just done work out something? Ooh, it stopped right at a chapter for me. Right at the end of a chapter. That was nice. I think I done worked something out. How did we all get on? Did we have fun? Was it good? How much did you read? I think I read... I don't read very quickly, so I guess maybe like 20 pages? Bit more than that? Oh, pardon me, my god, cider. I'm so sorry. Let's see, what have you been chatting about? Oh, hey, Griffith B, thank you very much for joining. I'm juggling 3 books and my housemate threw me another one yesterday. What books are you reading? Tell us. Oh, hi, Audra. I'm glad that you managed to join too. Thank you for subscribing. That's super sweet. I'm good. I'm good today, although I think fizzy beverages are a bad choice for the stream, even though cider is making me very merry at the moment. Morgane, you are trying to get back into The Expanse 1. So have you not read it before, or have you options? Have you... Excuse me, I am so sorry. No more cider for Leanne. Have you not read it before, or started it and abandoned it, or read it before and you're trying to read it again? Questions. Morgane, you just finished an adult fantasy trilogy and you don't know what to read next. Ooh, so are you looking for more fantasy, or do you want something different? Oh, Kendall, you decided to study for a geology quiz instead of read because it is a rough class. Oh, I don't miss my uni days, except I miss my uni days every day. Here's a interesting factoid. Bye, Kitty. Interesting factoid. I left school at 16, went straight to full-time work, and I did a full-time literature degree alongside working full-time, and walked away with a first. So after being told my entire life that because I hadn't done very well in school, that I wouldn't do very well in university education, and oh, I'm so sorry, let's turn the noise off now, that we don't need the timer. And guess what? It was lies, so don't listen to anybody who says that you can't do everything you want to do. Katie, you finished in the middle of a dramatic scene. Nick's in trouble again. I think there's a good chance that he's going to be okay. I'm putting my money on he's going to be okay. Oh, Cuddle Books, you read, I started Murder in an Irish Village by Carleen O'Connor. I was going to say, tell us what it's about, but I guess it's about a murder in an Irish village, but there must be more to it than that. Oh, Beck, no, don't worry, these are, it's very big font and lots of gaps on the pages. I'm a very slow reader. That's interesting. Who is a slow and who is a fast reader in terms of actual, like, pages that you can read in an hour? Rachel, oh, you don't know you were listening to an audiobook. So you got 50 minutes of your audiobook done. Was it a good 50 minutes? 2 short chapters and deadly little scandals. Great fun. Ooh. It's my first time reading it. I read 2 of the adult fantasy after I started The Expanse, so you put it on hold. I really like The Expanse. I think Lovely Wife Helen has read the first book of The Expanse as well. I actually have the rest of the series sitting on my shelves, and really should read all of them. It's the kind of book I had to dedicate all my attention to. Morgane, try the audiobook if it's not sticking for you, because I listened to it on audiobook and it was real good. Molly, just had to finish my chapter. I'm only 20 pages from the end of The Donor by Claire McIntosh. Are you enjoying it? Controversial opinion, not a massive Claire McIntosh fan. Don't get it. I'm sorry, I'm going to put my phone up there because it's doing a lot of vibrating. If it's annoying, I will put it on don't vibrate. I like to keep it on vibrate for emergencies, but let me know if it's annoying. Oh, Dina, you're a super fast. I like it. I've got I'm a slow reader. I'm a super fast reader. I read at medium pace. I'm quite a slow reader actually. Interestingly enough, I read faster on Kindle than I do on in physical format. But this one is just flying by, and I don't know if I was audible during that point, but I think I done worked something out. I think there was a link in a chain, and I spotted the link, and I don't know whether I'm happy about it or not, because you guys know that I like to not know anything. Depends on the book. Oh, Stacey, that's interesting. It depends on the book whether you're a fast or a slow reader. That's good. Molly, it's a short story, but I like it better this way. Wasn't a massive fan of I See You. Which did I read? I read her first one. Oh, let's look it up. I can't remember. So with Claire Mackintosh, I felt like it was really transparent. I don't mean necessarily her plot. I Let You Go. I read I Let You Go. In fact, I gave it 3 stars, but I'm going right now, live on air, to change it to 2 stars, because I really didn't like that book. Yeah. Everybody's going to be liking that on Twitter now, because every time I change a rating, it pops up on Twitter. Like, I rated a book, and I'm like, no, guys, just changing my mind about something I read years ago. Yeah, so I felt like it was really obvious, like, all of her links between her characters were really obvious, and some really just cringeworthy things kept happening, and I was just like, I see what you're doing. Like, there's no, I felt like there was no, like, art in this. There was no mystery, right? I could see exactly where it was going the whole way through. And when the twist came at the end, I was like, well, yeah, I know. Like, I know. And it's dumb. So, I know that's a controversial opinion, though, because I know that everybody is massive. Well, I say everybody, that's a big generalisation, but I know that lots of people are a massive fan of Claire Mackintosh. So I read a comment there and I've lost it. How fast do I listen to audiobooks? I usually listen on normal speed. The only time I don't is when it's a really drony narrator, and that only usually happens with non-fiction. I feel like sometimes non-fiction books that aren't true crime, the narrator is, they read it like they're a professor reading a textbook to you, and sometimes I put it on like 1.5 speed, or like 1.25 or 1.5 speed, which is the most I can go. I can't listen to it on 2 speed. That's insane. Although podcast partner in crime Kirsty exclusively listens to things on ×2 speed because she's a monster. But I only do it if it can like make the person speak at a normal rate. D, you just did 2 chapters of Finders Keepers. Was it good? Did you like it? Okay, so I am going to go find the tag questions that I should really have had these questions ready. Here is, this one is from a couple of years ago. Naturally it doesn't have the doesn't have the tag questions and the description. That, by the way, people, is super annoying. If if you have a booktube channel, don't be a monster. It's like being on Instagram and doing a template and tagging somebody in it and not leaving a blank. It's monstrous. It's monstrous. Oh, Smitten for Fiction says the family upstairs had a reveal at around 90% that blew my mind. You now know that I'm gonna be. Oh, you know I'm gonna be watching for that now. Oh no. My biggest empire. I listen to audiobooks on YouTube at 2 times speed, so these live shows sound bizarrely slow to me. But do you speak quickly? Because I massively slow down the way that I speak for live streams and booktube and things like that, because Scottish people speak very quickly, and so I slow it down, because I feel like if I don't slow it down, you guys will have no freaking idea what I am talking about at any time. Okay. Let me just minimize this window. So I can read the questions. Okay. So, okay, so this is the Out of My Comfort Zone book tag, which was created by Emma Books like 2 years ago. A bit more than that now, actually. And there's 6 questions in it. But, oh, bye Maria. Hope you get a chance to watch the rest. Beck says, this is so interesting to me to know how you like to consume your audiobooks. I've just started to dip my toe into audiobooks, starting slow as a reread of Harry Potter. I think Harry Potter's a great place to start audiobooks, although I obviously have opinions about Stephen Fry's audio, because I don't like it. And I prefer the other ones, the American ones, who by... I can never remember his name. Am I going to have to get up? And I'm going to... Why? What is wrong with me? Why can I never remember this? Jim Dale. By Jim Dale. I like Jim Dale's audiobook narration. And I also like how I just keep continually walking around that camera instead of actually putting it out of the way. That says, yes, Tina, thank you, Jim Dale. Roast chicken dinner is ready. I will check back later. Oh, I'm envious. Books at the bottom of the stairs, even though I've just had that. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, people, for keeping me right. Right, so this is the Out of My Comfort Zone book tag. And so, Kenda Quenta, because Stephen Fry makes everybody sound like they're 75. And he makes Lupin sound literally like he's on death's door. And everybody else sounds like Stephen Fry. Like, I don't feel like he does voices. I feel like he does Stephen Fry reading an audiobook, which is not what I'm looking for from the Harry Potter audiobooks. Okay, so the first question is, a book that is an exception when it comes to genres or elements in books that you don't typically like. So, my answer for this is Burial Rites by Hannah Kent, because I have a lot of issues with historical literary fiction. Not so much mysteries, not so much thrillers, although I don't read a lot of historical thrillers, but specifically historical literary fiction I really don't get along with. Like, I super don't get along with it. It drives me absolutely potty. I find that half of the time it's either they are specifically so that we can have how do I say that? I don't want to be triggery. So that we can have non-consensual activities with females, and then we can put them in books because it was historically accurate, right? And so we have to explore the whole of the scene because it's historically accurate. And Burial Rites by Hannah Kent was the first historical fiction, literary fiction that I had read in ever that I absolutely loved. Like, loved the house down. It is amazing. If you don't know about it, it is about a woman in Iceland who was tried for murder. It is a fictional murder. There you go. There's my first murder of the stream. It was it's a fictional retelling of a true historical event, and it's haunting and it's unprecedented and it's it took me completely out of myself. Did not expect to love it as much as I did. Made Lovely Wife Helen read it. She also loved it. Lovely Wife Helen is not a literary fiction lover at all. Does not understand why I enjoy literary fiction. So what is your answer to that one, guys? Genre or category of book that you a book that is an exception when it comes to elements or genres that you don't typically like. Oh, Rachel, Crazy Rich Asians, that's really interesting. Yeah, that's a good one because I guess a lot of people ended up reading that, and it's essentially romance, right? So like, I guess a lot of people ended up reading that because of the hype and how much like blatant representation there was in it. I mean, hello. And it got pushed out of their comfort zone with that one. That's a really good one. Oh, Tony, The Flat Share and The Semi-Definitive List of Worst Nightmares are two that I've liked that aren't typically genres I normally like. So I read The Flat Share. I think I gave that like 3 stars. I loved the premise of it, and oh my god, I loved the background characters, but I felt like it was a little bit like it built up to like a crescendo that it just didn't quite hit. Oh, Kendra Gwen, I was completely different. I loved Burial Rites and I hated The Good People. I hated it so much, and I think I ended up getting like halfway through, I would say, before I like threw it away and was like, no, I can't do this anymore. Oh, Katie Oliver Twist, I don't. Yay, another person who doesn't like Dickens. I feel like I've talked on this stream again most about books that I haven't liked, but I don't like Dickens either. I feel like you either love Dickens or hate Dickens, and if you hate Dickens, you love Wilkie Collins, and that's the camp that I'm in. Like, I'm in that I love Wilkie Collins, Dickens is trash camp. That's interesting because Great Expectations was the last book that I tried from Dickens, and I was so incredibly over it. I was so over it. Oh, Stacey the Nightingale. Simone and I constantly tells me that I need to read The Nightingale. Can you sell The Nightingale to me? Can you give me like a synopsis of The Nightingale that will make me desperately want to pick it up, because I don't know very much about it. Molly Nutshell by Ian McEwan. I have only read one Ian McEwan, and it of course is that Ian McEwan. Chloe, Illuminate or Illuminate? Which one? Do you mean Illuminate? Because that's outside of a lot of people's comfort zones, but I love that one too. Radio Silence, that's a good one. The Outsider, Z Spumoni says The Outsider, not a scary or horror fan, but loved that one. I like it. Somebody commented on my introduction to horror video, so it's like 10 books that suggest other genres. So like if you like literary fiction, you might like this horror. If you like sci-fi, you might like this horror. And was like, everybody just recommends the same 5 Stephen King books. Thank you for actually giving me a list. So if you do, actually want to experiment and dip your toe into other scary horror books, you can check out that video. The Expanse is my first space opera. I was always kind of afraid of books in space. Morgaine, please read Fuzzy Nation. I guarantee you will no longer ever be scared of books in space. It is the funniest and most human book in space ever. Oh, the story collector, The Count of Monte Cristo, is beautiful. It's so long, but it's so good. Early 20s Leanne was really ambitious with classics and read the longest ones that she could find. Oh, Beck, Low Country Hero, please also explain what that one is about. Sell it to me. I'm definitely feeling not good when they're in space and combinations and not the spaceships. I'm telling you, Morgan, you need to pick up Fuzzy Nation. You too, Penhallow, you need to pick up Fuzzy Nation. It's the best. Yeah, Chloe, Illumine is really out of a lot of people's comfort zones. That's also a really great sci-fi bridge book. Like if you like sci-fi, or if you like the idea of sci-fi but you haven't found a sci-fi that you like yet, that's a really good series. It's good on audiobook as well as an actual physical book. It's mixed media. Shall I go get one? Okay. Oh, everything cracked. So Illuminate looks like this. Just having this in my hand makes me happy. So that's like some files, there's transcripts, there's pages like this which are diaries kind of. There's the very classic black pages, but there's also pages that are told, and let me find one. Pages that are told like this, where the text actually follows the motion that actually is happening at the time. These are amazing. What else have I got? Let me think. Obviously The Martian, but I recommend that all the time. So I'm trying to recommend something else. Unearthed by Amy Kaufman and Meg Spooner is basically an Indiana Jones in space. Oh, and obviously like The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, because hello lover. Stacey says it's a story about two sisters in the World War, and it's a gripping historical and quick read. Ooh, maybe Stacey, that should be the book that I pick up to break my long run of not liking any historical fiction books since Burial Rites. Okay, so book two, question 2. No more cider for Leanne on streams. Question 2, a book you enjoyed from a genre you previously held some stigma about. Crikey. Okay, I'll try and answer something that's not literary fiction. That's a hard one. Oh, I know. Okay, so I don't like, I love reading about mental health, but I prefer mental health memoirs, right? So I want to hear about people's experiences with their mental health, and not necessarily like their conquering of your mental health, because I think that's bull. But like mental health is a journey, and it goes like this. It doesn't just go like this and you're better. Excuse me, my God, cider. But I like books like that, but I don't like self-help books. So I'm not a fan of self-help books in any way. Hard dislike. I dislike that they promote a kind of idea that by simply talking to yourself in your head and not doing anything else that you can get better. And sometimes that's the case, but for most people that is not the case. So I really liked 2 books. I really liked Beginner's Guide to Being Mental by Natasha Devon, which is literally an A to Z guide split up as like A for anxiety, B for beta blockers, like things like that. Very common things anxiety and depression have, and each of the entries has some of Natasha's personal mental health struggle, and some of the entries tells you about stuff about anxiety and mental health that I had no idea about, stuff that other people suffered with a lot, and also gave names to some of the things that I have suffered with that I didn't know had a name. There's a big section of about intrusive thoughts, and it's really medication positive, where like if you choose to take medication and that is a choice that you feel strongly about, and that's something that's helped you and that the professionals in your life feel strongly about, it's really about ending the stigma about medication. I'm not going to get on my soapbox about that right now, but that is something I feel really passionate about, so I really like that. And I also really like Big Happy Mushy Lump, which is a graphic memoir by Sarah Anderson. It's the second in what is now a trilogy, but I think she's going to do more. She's an illustrator that I've loved for a really long time, and Big Happy Mushy Lump was literally like it was like having CCTV cameras in my head and or being with a best friend who completely got me. And it talked about just the experience of existing as somebody who is both a realist and attempting to be positive, but also is living with anxiety and depression and expectations, and it's like the expectations of other people but also the expectations of yourself. So there you go. I really liked that one. That was a really good book. So that question for anybody else who would like to answer is a book you enjoyed from a genre you previously held some stigma about. Let me see. Oh, Beck, you're telling me it's about a family running away from a domestic violence situation. Turned love story with a very small mystery thrown in. Like the third plot point. It's book one in the series. Oh, that sounds quite good, Beck. Smitten for Fiction says, I didn't think I liked romance, but loved Tweet Cute. So many people loved Tweet Cute, which is totally fair. My romance recommendation always is Unsticky by Sarah Manning. She now writes historical romance, which I do not love at all, and actually have never managed to get any of Sarah Manning's other books. But Unsticky is essentially a Little Women retelling for the mid 2000s, and it's great. It's freaking great. Candy Quinta says, The Witch Elm, first Hannah French I ever tried. Don't think I liked mystery or thrillers or that kind of thing. Witch Elm wasn't perfect, but I enjoyed it and it got me to try more of the genre. Do you know what? I don't think we give enough credit to books that were okay, but not amazing, but that did open doors for us into the rest of the genre. So I thank Shirley Jackson for that now, as an adult, because like teenage Liam was very enamoured with Shirley Jackson. Present day Leanne thinks, what were you thinking? But yeah, I was nuts for Shirley Jackson way back when, and now I realise that was my first taste of horror, and that's the reason that I got into horror. Cappuccino Crab's back again with a sandwich. Love it. For anybody who's just joined, we're answering an old booktube tag, out of my comfort zone tag. So I'm answering and then I'm getting you to answer. Rachel, Fluke is a look at Jeff from the dog's point of view. I love it. That's really weird. That's like the second or third book I've been recommended in the past couple of weeks that comes from an animal's point of view. A semi-definitive list of worst nightmares by Crystal Sutherland for this one. Don't normally like contemporaries or mental. Oh, Tony, why don't you like mental health rep in fiction? That's interesting. Oh, Kenda Quinta, I am literally getting a medication reminder from a very good friend every morning right now, and it is the most helpful thing in the world. Blitzed is such a cute romance. Oh, Franca, sell it to us. Tell me what it's about. Make me read it. Never Let Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I don't do the existential or dystopia stuff really well. It frightens me, and it's an amazing book. Yeah, Katie, I'm So here's the reason that I don't like dystopian literature. It's not that it frightens me, it's that it is unredeemably bleak, and I don't believe in any kind of future that's completely irredeemably bleak. Penhallow, I would say Remote Control by Andy McNabb, not a fan of spies and shenanigans, but decided to pick it up and loved it. Yeah, you can thank lovely wife Helen for making you do that. Tina! The Haunting of Hill House, I want that 4 hours of my life back. Yes, girl, you and me both. You and me both, so bad. Oh, Kendall, I've always meant to pick up I Want to Get In. Everybody tells me Slaughterhouse 5 is where I should start with. Beck, I haven't read enough to answer this question. That's okay, Beck. You have endless reading in front of you, especially if you hang around this channel for any amount of time. Okay, so question 3 is, a book you didn't know was actually out of your comfort zone until you started reading it. Oh. Ooh, what I answer for that? I instinctively want to go to my thriller shelf for that one, but maybe not. Oh, I know. I know. Retribution Falls. That was I recommended Retribution Falls to lovely wife Helen when we got together, and I was at the time one of these people who would buy entire sets of books without having read the first one to know if I liked them or not. I don't do that anymore, don't worry. I mean, I think we all go through a phase of that, but yeah, that was definitely me for a while, and I had them on my shelves, and I was like, I think from the things that you have told me that you've read that you would like these books. Wow, loud eating kitty in the background. And when I came around to read it, I realised that it was so completely out of my comfort zone that I was like, I didn't think this was going to be this bad. So it's not bad, it's a great book, but I didn't think it was going to be so oh, somebody got an accelerator for their Christmas and is only now breaking it out. Go home. Stay home, save lives, go home, stop speeding on the roads and causing accidents. Judgy Leanna's judgy. Yeah, so I ended up reading Retribution Falls and realising that steampunk as a genre is massively out of my comfort zone. And apart from Gail Carriger's ones, which are steampunk, but the Paracel Protectorate's kind of steampunk, well, like romance with a side of steampunk. Like, it just happens to be set in steampunk, but could equally just be a urban fantasy set in the 1900s, or the 1800s rather. Yeah, so, but I when I picked up Retribution Falls, I was like, yeah, steampunk's massively out of my comfort zone. Tony sometimes just feels like things are too easy to overcome to make the story wrap up neatly. Yeah, Tony, I totally get that. I think that there's a temptation with specifically mental health representation that looks at depression and anxiety to put the character on a path to some kind of ultimate recovery wherein like everything will be better, and that's not reality. I personally don't think. I think that there's a tendency to want everything to be a happy ending rather than a hopeful ending. And I think with mental health representation, you can make an ending hopeful. You don't have to make it happy. Like, books don't have to end in happy endings. They can be hopeful without trying to tie everything up in a bow. Franca, it's basically out of this series of football player romances. Sounds like not my thing, but such an emphasis on the importance of good friendships and independent women. Do you know something? I get so many recommendations for you guys in the stream. One of these days I'm just going to actually do a video where I'm going to buy everything that you recommend and I'm going to read it all, and I'm going to be like, my stream said that I should read this. Emma, Only just joined, been busy with work, so disappointed I missed it. Oh, don't worry, Emma, it's okay, I'm here for another half an hour, you're all good, don't worry. Huge reading slump. Think I bought too many books and might be overwhelmed. Emma, list your books. Let us help you. Tell us what you've bought. Tell us what's on your TBR and we can help. Clan of the Cave Bear. But so much sexism and consent issues. No. Oh, yeah. I didn't get far enough into Clan of the Cave Bear, but when I did, when I DNF'd it and I read some reviews, that was one of the things that was top of the list for a lot of people, was that they struggled. Yeah. They struggled with the consent issues in it, which I mean, yeah, okay. I guess you can argue that it's historically accurate. We think, maybe. We weren't there. But at the same time, I'm a bit like... Oh, Penhallow, you would say The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter took you 3 attempts before I could get through it. A lot to process. It's a really trippy book. Pretty Girls is worse. Yeah. I understand. Himself by Jess Kidd. It was magical realism. I don't like this, and ended up DNFing it. I was so disappointed. Oh no, Morgan, that's sad. Now, Jess Kidd is the same person who wrote Hoarder, correct? Because I've just picked up Hoarder, so I hope that that is better than himself. I don't go self-help, but the Book of Joy by the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu was delightful for their friendship. Oh, Tina! That seems like the most wholesome friendship ever. Om nom nomagun. I love that handle. Says Robin Hobb, Live Ship Traders. Yeah, that one is... Yes, I understand. Live Ship Traders is not my favourite. Not my favourite Robin Hobb. Crudo by Olivia Lang, way too modern. Beck, I would honestly not recommend any Colleen Hoover, to be honest. I have huge issues with all of Colleen Hoover's ideas of masculinity and consent. I have big issues with her. However, I can recommend you a whole host of other things that are better than Colleen Hoover if you want a contemporary. And the answer put me out of my comfort zone, but I pushed through it and loved it. Acheron, it was another Good Omens second to... Oh, Rachel, Good Omens was the same for me. I didn't like it first time around, but now I'm obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. The first time I read it, I think I just went, why is it not all written by Terry Pratchett? Why is Neil Gaiman in my book? I used to be snobby about YA fantasy, but Maggie Stiefvater put me right, and I've read a lot since. Why can't I do words today? YA fantasy, The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. I like that YA fantasy. I love We Have Always Lived in the Castle. Don't hate all of Shirley Jackson, just don't. Lovely Wife Helen's like, no, don't buy all the books. I might buy all the books, you never know. Do you ever worry that the floor in your library might fall through? Yes. The moment of silence after that for hi Simone. The moment of truth in that, yeah, I do worry that the ceiling will one day fall through, especially with me rolling all over the floor in this really heavy chair as well. Please, I will take all the recommendations I can get at this point. I'm really trying to get back into reading again. So, Beck, would you like contemporary YA recommendations, or are there other genres that you would prefer? Oh, Phoenix, especially as wooden floor over cellar. Okay. Ooh, question 4. Beck, tell me what you would like for recommendations. I'll come back to you, babe. Question 4 is pick a friend or booktuber that motivates you to pick up books you might not normally be interested in. What is one book out of your norm that they convinced you to give a try? Ooh, do you know a lot of booktube does this to me? Like a lot of booktube. Okay, so Jean from Jean's Bookish Thoughts often gets me to read weird things that I would not otherwise pick up. Yeah. Yeah. Jean gets me to pick up some really, really odd things. Who else? Mel from Mel's Bookland Adventures. I'm so terrible at handles. Mel is the loveliest person in the world, and she often gets me to pick up some things that I would otherwise just not have thought of. Oh, Kendra Quentis, it's me. Beck, I'm not sure yet. Going to read a few books in a lot of genres as I don't know what I like yet. I'm just hoping for good books to start. Okay, Beck. On my channel I have got Where to Start with Horrors. I think my top 10 favourite books, which needs updated but still stands, and also where to my top 10 mystery books. Let me see. I want to recommend you things that are good but are also not heartbreaking, and a lot of my YA contemporary is absolutely heartbreaking. The Nowhere Girls by Amy Reed is one of my favourite YA contemporaries ever. I can't believe I forgot about that. It is about a young girl who relocates with her family. She is essentially a preacher's daughter, and she moves into a pretty old house in this town, and she discovers some things written in her room. And through making friends with people at school, which is really difficult because she's a teenager starting a new high school for the first time, she was in her own friendship group all the way through, and this is a completely new place for her. Through making some friends with some really interesting girls, she ends up being friends with the unpopular girls at this school. She discovers that the girl who previously lived in her room in her house was accused the football team, a guy on the football team, of rape, and was basically driven out of town because nobody believed her. And it is about the girls in that town who feel like they don't have a voice. That is an amazing book, and I loved it, but it does come with a tissue warning. Let's see who else. Maura from Books Like Whoa, and she got me to start reading Ilona Andrews. Yeah! Okay, I need to check out Maura. Hi, Elliot. You say you don't know if I've answered it already, but you were wondering how I was doing with my 5-star predictions from a previous video. Really excited to find out what you think. So, I was going to vlog that, and I didn't end up vlogging it, but I will be doing a massive sit down and chat about everything at the end. I am reading the 3rd book out of 5, which I'm absolutely loving, and I've DNF'd 2 of the other books. Big fat DNF. Oh, Beck, you're absolutely welcome. This is definitely the stream to come to for recommendations. If you... What else? Oh, Two Boys Kissing by David Levithan is lovely as well, and that is a short that is about some queer teenagers who are trying to come into their own, and 2 of them, Got an order on Etsy. Cha-ching. 2 of them, thank you if that's any of you guys. 2 of the teenagers decide that to raise awareness and raise money for a cause, they are going to do the longest kiss on record, and both of the teenagers are queer, and it ignites a lot of controversy in the town. And there is kind of a Greek chorus of voices of people from the LGBTQI plus community who have come and gone in the background of it, and it's making me emotional just thinking about it. Hi Veronica, how are you? Cappuccino Craft says she makes a case that romance novels are essentially about building and expanding a new community, not just about hearts and rainbows. Yes, I love it. Oh, Smitten for Fiction Chelsea is my boo. I love her to pieces. You're welcome, Elliot. Sometimes the streams are really, really busy, and sometimes there's a great group of peeps like this, and it's like a smaller group, and I get to read everybody's comments, so don't worry. In the chat, I'm gonna have so many screen captures to sort out. Oh no! Is it just me and my dodgy... I'm drinking the cider again, guys, I'm sorry. It's sitting next to me and it smells so good. Oh, Kendall! Thank you so much, honey. That's so sweet of you. I'm doing a post run on Tuesday, so your Hufflepuff bookmark will head to you on Tuesday. Common Sense made me read Aristotle and Dante. I am not a fan of that book, however it is read by Lin-Manuel Miranda, so I did listen to it because Lynn narrated it. Okay, what is question number 5? A book that is out of your comfort zone that you would like to read. Right, I'm gonna have to look at my want to read list on... Find my Amazon wish list. Phone, please work. Don't you know that I'm on stream right now? That's probably why it's not working. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Let's see. Out of my comfort zone books. I do sometimes pop out of my comfort zone books on here. Oh. I can delete that now because the wonderful and cheeky Simi bought me that book. As a present. Oh, okay, so there's one. The Makioka sisters. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the author's name because I'm just not. However, it's a Japanese classic, and it is one of those books that I just keep seeing, and I'm just like, everybody tells me this is amazing, so I'll read you the synopsis. In Osaka in the years immediately before World War II, 4 aristocratic women tried to preserve a way of life that is vanishing. The story of the Makioka sisters forms what is arguably the greatest Japanese novel of the 20th century. The eldest sister clings obstinately to the prestige of her family name, even as her husband prepares to move their household to Tokyo, where that name means nothing. Sachiko promises valiantly to secure the future of her younger sisters, and the unmarried Yukiko as a hostage to her family's exacting standards, while the spirited Teiko rebels by flinging herself into scandalous romantic alliances. So that is my answer for that one. That one sounds super good. And I've wanted it for ages, but it's really chunky and it terrifies me, but I really want to read it. Right, where do we get there? Oh, Veronica, you at the start of this stream we were talking about other stuff that we're doing. So we're knitting. I'm working on my launch, my store update, the launch of that. No words are not working tonight. We also talked about Animal Crossing and the Switch, because obviously some of us are watching Netflix, So don't worry, yeah, it's possible to read too much. Kenda Quintus says, I want to order some nice bookmarks, but I have a mug full already. And I have 4 mugs full. I use them all. Rebecca is very good. Lovely wife Helen. Rebecca is very good. Rachel says, Red, White and Royal Blue. Is that the one that you want to read that's out of your comfort zone? Did I shelve that? Yeah, I shelved that. I have just... One of the videos that I recorded the other day is coming out at some point this week as a book haul. So I have Red, White and Royal Blue in that book haul. Oh, Gail, you read you want to read, Becoming by Michelle Obama. You don't read memoirs. Who was it that, it was Kirsty, podcast partner in crime, Kirsty, said that Becoming by Michelle Obama on audiobook is amazing. Katie, nothing specific yet. I'd like to read more classics. Anybody's got recommendations, that would be great. I love The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins, which is really the first mystery thriller that was written. It's entirely in epistolary diary entries. It's great. It's a whole lot of fun. I also love Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. I love Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I've got a whole list of modern classics as well. What other classics do I love? I read a lot of plays, classic plays. I can give you recommendations for them. Oh no, Penhallow, you're going to DNF your current read. What were you currently reading? Have you told us? On my TBR is The Diviners or Rivers of London or Pretty Girls. Okay. Pretty Girls is a lot. I'm just going to say it. Pretty Girls is a lot. It's amazing, but it's a lot. It's a whole lot. So if you want something easier than The Diviners or Rivers of London, I would go for it. So in order of lols, I would read Rivers of London first, because that is, you'll fly through it. It's really funny, but it's also super page turny. Then The Diviners, it's really chunky, but it's really good, and it's also quite funny, and it bridges the gap between the urban fantasy and the straight up thrillery slashery nastiness. Oh, Molly, thank you for your order. That's super sweet. You guys are lovely. Please don't make me cry on stream. The Secret History, Najat. I love The Secret History. Don't listen to Lovely Wife Helen if she says it's terrible. I absolutely love The Secret History. It's great. The Butchering Art by Lindsay Fitzharris. Beck, tell me what that one is about. Lala made me read Every Heart a Doorway. I listened to the audiobook and straight away listened to Down Among the Sticks and Bones. It's smitten for fiction. I love that series. Down Among the Sticks and Bones is absolutely my favourite out of the whole series, but I love them all. The one you talked about, The Way to a Small Angry Planet. Yes, that's amazing, Chloe. That's a really gentle introduction to sci-fi. Not a lot of actual sci-fi detail or hard sci-fi stuff in there at all. Rachel, I'm not very good with contemporary. Is that like contemporary YA or contemporary fiction in general? I kind of quit and no, please don't encourage me. Wait for my store update at the end of the month and then see if you find anything that you like. That's all I'm saying. Three Musketeers is a great classic. Oh, and The Count of Monte Cristo, we talked about that earlier on. Yes, Phoenix, it is a tad chunky, but it flies by. That is not one that I struggled with at all. Any Shakespeare recommendations, or should I not even try? Oh no, Najat, I love Shakespeare. Okay. I say avoid A Midsummer's Night's Dream because it is essentially an opioid fantasy. That's what it is. I really love the Henry plays. I love the Henry plays a lot. They are really freaking good and they are massively underrated. I love Coriolanus. It's very grim, but it's great. It also has a film that came out a couple of years ago with Ralph Fiennes in it, which was really good. What else? I'm drawing a blank. Hold on. All of the Shakespeare that I've studied just, I mean, like, I mean, apart from the standards like Othello and stuff like that, but all the rest of them are just blending in for me right now. Macbeth, of course. Hello, Macbeth is amazing. Pericles is good too. And I like Richard. I think it's the second. Anthony and Cleopatra is really easy to follow and really good. The Merchant of Venice is fabulous. Taming of the Shrew is fabulous. I say avoid 12th Night. Yes, there's some Shakespeare recommendations. Tina, enjoy your laundry. Don't worry, I'm only going to be here for another like 10 minutes. You're not missing too much. Hi to anybody who's just joined. I see a lot of people. Oh, hi, Steph. How are you? I've been meaning to read The Three Musketeers for like a decade. Do an audiobook. I'm currently reading The Secret She Keeps by Michael Robotham. Robotham. From what I know about the 19th century surgical practice and the medical pioneers that came from them, very gruesome. Ooh, Beck, I like it. IDIC Warrior, hi, thank you for joining us. I'm so glad that you did. I'm so sorry you're having a bad mental health month, but I'm telling you, it is going to get better, because I had a really bad mental health week a couple of weeks ago and I felt like the world was going to collapse, and guess what, it didn't. Still here. So these streams are always here. Got to get ready for my morning shift at work. Ooh, Steph, are you actually going into work? Like, are you teaching from in work? Right. Are you in your workplace teaching your kids remotely? Steph is a junior school teacher, guys. Or are you doing remote learning from home? Which one? The Swap by Robin Harding sounds like it's out of my comfort zone with a partner swap situation. I do love a good partner swap and a good like fake romance. I do. Okay, so will we ask? Oh, you don't do audiobooks, Henry Quinn. No, okay, fair enough. I have the physical book of the Musketeer. Do you know what? Here's a random classics hack, guys. I don't know if this works for anybody else, but I find that I am far more likely to pick up a classic if it is a beautiful object, if it has a gorgeous cover, if it feels tactile in my hands. I am far more likely to pick up a classic if it's lovely to look at and to hold than I am to pick up a classic if it if it looks like my copy of Frankenstein by the Oxford Classics editions that I have from uni. Oh my god. I'm so much more likely to read a classic if I look at it on my shelf and I go, how you doing? You're pretty. You're pretty. Yeah, I definitely am. Lovely wife. Helen, are you hearing this? Show yours. Steph, our essential service workers' kids have on-site supervision, so I do 2 2-hour on-site shifts each week and then remote teaching from home. So you're, oh well, good luck. Please stay safe on your journey in, Steph. Oh, we have lovely wife Helen.
Hello.
You're here. Wait a minute.
Oh.
Let me. Okay. Here we go.
Shifting a bit. Here I am.
Hello.
I have shifted in.
Oh, okay. Would you want to try my cider?
Okay. Oh, it's a toffee apple one.
It's the toffee apple one.
It smells so sweet.
It is sweet. That's why it's good. Just started Jane Eyre, and you're loving it. Yay! Jane Eyre's amazing. If you like Jane Eyre, go on to read Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and then Jane Steele by Lindsay Fay, in that order. Is it? Yeah, I just psyched myself out. Okay, so we have one more question left, and now you're here. You can tell me.
I doubt it.
What's happening to you? He groomed.
I don't think that helped.
It did. It did. It was all flopped.
Okay.
Just rump it.
Yeah.
We'll just cut it all off.
Can do. You're the one that has to look at me.
I'm the one that cuts your hair anyway.
Yep.
Right, so the last question is, everyone's saying, hi, lovely wife Helen. Last question is, a book or genre so out of what you normally read that you'll probably never give it a or another chance. That's hard for me because I pretty much, apart from historical literary fiction, I pretty much read everything. I read literary fiction, oh, that is another order. Thank you, Katie. Thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. Please don't make me cry on the stream again. I've already done that. Oh, yay, Steph, you're only a 3-minute walk from work. That is awesome. That makes me worry less about you. Please let me know how you are later. Like, drop me an Instagram message because I will be thinking about you. Yeah, so I pretty much read everything. I'm thinking about all my regular... I don't think there's anything that I would straight up never do again. I feel some type of way about grimdark fantasy sometimes because I feel the same way about grimdark fantasy as I feel about dystopian fantasy, and that it's always so bleak that I never see any redeeming qualities. So I guess that could be my answer. I guess dystopian could be my answer. I don't think I'll never give it another chance because I definitely do have some semi-dystopian books on my shelves that I will try. But I definitely think that, like, dystopian's really far down on my list. What about you?
Horror. I don't do horror.
Oh, you don't do horror?
No.
Is that, well, you don't like to be scared, so you don't like the feeling of being scared. But I think, have you read Bird Box?
Nope.
Oh, you haven't?
Nope.
I'm just looking at my horror shelf.
I don't choose horror.
You don't ever choose horror?
No.
Is that, though, because you don't like the idea? You've not had a bad experience with horror, have you?
No. I just don't like horror films in particular. I just don't enjoy.
Can I make you read something and see if you enjoy it?
Maybe.
Vote for horror fiction in the comments that lovely wife Helen should read.
Not Stephen King.
No, well, no, not Stephen King, but like there are plenty other horror authors than white cisgendered straight men. Aw, Penhallow, I'm glad that these keep you going. Yeah, I kind of like her.
You'll keep me.
I'll keep her.
For a bit longer.
Yeah. I'll keep her for a while. Yeah, the only reason you started reading Count of Monte Cristo was because you bought the Barnes & Noble leatherbound edition. The leatherbound editions are beautiful, but they're so heavy, girl. Like, they so, yeah, so much more like, although they're like Bible paper, so I don't even think I wouldn't be reading them in bed ever. Lots of hellos to you. Gone with the Wind, Scarlet's eyes follow you. I wasn't hating Gone with the Wind, but I didn't make it all the way through. You did though, and you really liked it, didn't you?
I did.
Oh,
but
is it one of the ones that it hasn't really stuck with you, or?
I've got a hair in my
I can't hear. Kiwi was here earlier.
Oh, thanks, Kiwi.
Yeah, she was like right there. So.
Well, it's just a bad thing happens, and then another bad thing happens.
Yeah.
Then another bad thing happens.
Gone with the Wind is bleak. I'm not gonna lie. Gone with the Wind is definitely bleak. Oh, Kendall, can I give you a couple of true crime? Can I? Oh, IDIC Warrior, thank you so much. You're saying that you wish I had a super chat so that you could support me. I do have a coffee page, which should be linked in my my description. If you guys ever want to drop a tip in there, that would be amazing, but absolutely no pressure. Just chatting with you here is the sweetest, and I always leave these streams like bouncing and then can't go to sleep for hours, don't I? Because I'm like, that was so much fun, I want to do it again. Grimdark, Red Queen's War, Red Sister, I Need Humour in a Book. Yes. Phoenix, the only Grimdark I have read recently and I have really loved was The blade itself. That's
yes.
grimdark, because that's like kind of post-apocalyptic-ish, like, and in that, like, the world's in a pretty grim place when you start it. That's grimdark. There you go. You've learned a thing. You've learned a thing. You do like grimdark books anyway because you like stabby things.
I do.
Oh, Steph, Novelty Steph has placed an order. You are bad and cheeky, and thank you very much. And somebody else has placed an order, but I can't hop you pip. That's my closest guess to your username. Thank you so much if you placed an order. I really appreciate it, especially right now. It absolutely helps. Every penny helps right now. Oh God, did you hear that? I'm so sorry if anybody else heard that, Bart. I need to, no more fizzy drinks for me on camera, okay?
Well, not cider. You normally manage with, like, Iron Brew.
Not cider. Cider's bad. I'll drink the rest of it. Don't worry. I've got like half a bottle over here. I'll drink the rest when I leave. So, that was sticky. That was bad. So, Kenda Quinta says, yeet some Myra Grant books at you. Myra Grant is the pen name of Shauna Maguire, who writes the Every Heart a Doorway series, and I have encrypted. She does urban fantasy as well.
Ooh.
I have the first book on my shelf.
Okay.
Not anything like Every Heart a Doorway at all. So, because Lovely Wife Helen is not a fan of Every Heart a Doorway in the series. It's just that she's you don't really like fairy tales. And so, because a lot of them are, they're a bit fairy tale biased, like, right? So, I never read any sci-fi, wouldn't know where to start. Barbara, start with Fuzzy Nation by John Scalzi.
Awesome.
Then go on to A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers.
And then Bob.
And then, and then the Bob. Oh, who writes the Bob books? Bugger. Who writes the Bobiverse books? Have you guys heard of the Bobiverse books before? Dennis E. Taylor. So the first one is We Are Legion. Has anybody heard about those ones before? The Bobiverse books are Bob. That's what I want to do. So essentially, I recommended these really recently for audiobooks that I like. But the Bobiverse books are about a guy called Bob who has just sold his tech startup company for a real lot of money, and he's taken his very small team away to a sci-fi convention. And this is set just a little bit in our future, and they are offering to cryogenically freeze your body in order that years and years later, when technology exists that can revive you as a human, they'll bring you around again. And so he leaves the convention centre, he goes and signs the papers because he can now afford to pay for his body to be cryogenically frozen, and on the way back he gets hit by a bus and he dies. And they freeze him, and years and years and years and years and years later he wakes up. He wakes up not entirely sure where the hell he is, and Bob is no longer quite in Bob's body anymore. Bob is actually in a computer, and he now has a mission to essentially explore space because Earth is starting to get a little bit implodey.
Yeah, implodey is a
and
good
so
word.
and so he's sent out into the world and has to find all different ways to run this spaceship because it's basically his body now. So he has to find all different ways to run this spaceship and keep it running.
Go on, do your favourite line.
My favourite line is when he first wakes up. I feel like it's a really like 90s Star Trek loving sentence, but he wakes up for the first time and he's trying to move his body and stuff, and he can't work out why he can't feel his limbs. And so eventually somebody comes in and explains to him what's happened, and explains that he's actually in a computer and that he's seeing through a camera, and so he's working out how many angles he can see and stuff like that. And then eventually he stops and he has a moment and he's like, oh shit, and he goes, how much of me is Borg? I love it so much. It's such a good book. Right, okay. We are massively behind in the comments. Hold on, let me go back. Veronica Bible paper that made me chuckle. It's like rice paper. So we've got Dracula. I have that on audiobook, and it's Tim Curry and Alan Cumming, so you absolutely should listen to Dracula.
Okay.
That's a classic horror, but you're not getting away with that. Steph from Novelty Corner says Into the Drowning Deep by Myra Grant, but you've already...
Oh, is that the mermaid
That's
thingy?
the mermaid book. You already noped your way out of that when
No.
you heard about it. Penhallow says Hex. You know how much I love Hex, but I think I've told you so much about Hex it's basically ruined it for you at this point.
That means I might actually read it because I know what's going to happen.
You're weird. You're so weird. The Passage. Much too long for a first horror book. The Passage... Warrior, The Passage is the size of my freaking head, my lovely. I would read it, but she's never going to get through it. It's a good book, though. You could try... You've done Illuminate, haven't you?
Yes.
Kendall is suggesting it to Barbara. You could try Illuminate. That is great on audiobook as well.
Really good.
Bye, Franca. Enjoy your book bath. That's one of my favourite things ever. Penhallow, it's you. What did you buy? I love that you're like, at me. Oh, Slytherin bookmark. Yes. Fellow Slytherin. Snake. Oh, Sherry, these live chats are a breath of fresh air. I'm so glad that you guys find these helpful, honestly. Yes, Steph, if you colour in my colouring page, please tag me on social media to tell me that you have coloured it in so that I can repost it and show everybody. Oh, Helen, you might like the Harry Hole thrillers by Joe Nesbo. That's a good point, Rachel. I've never suggested those before. Horror historical fiction, The Doll Factory by Elizabeth McNeil.
Sounds creepy already.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Let's see. The Doll. I've got Goodreads open now. Did we say Elizabeth McNeil? We did. Because there are lots of doll factories. Apparently it's a very popular name. Oh, I've seen the cover for this one. Is this a Panmac book? Yeah, it's Picador. Yeah, I've seen the cover for this one. London 1850. The Great Exhibition is being erected in Hyde Park. Of course it is. And among the crowd watching the spectacle, two people meet. For Iris, an aspiring artist, it is the encounter of a moment, forgotten seconds later. But for Silas, a collector entranced by the strange and beautiful, the meeting marks a new beginning. When Iris is asked to model for pre-Raphaelite artist Lewis Frost, she agrees on the condition that he will also teach her to paint. Suddenly her world begins to expand to become a place of art and love. But Silas has only thought of one thing since their meeting, and his obsession is darkening.
Creepy.
Ew, super creepy. However, can I just say, I passed up on a proof of this book when it originally came in because it was historical fiction, and if I had known the premise, I would not have passed this up. Kenda Quinta says, courtesy of my gran, a post Burt rhyme. Pardon me for being so rude. It was not me. It was my food. It just popped up to say hello. They're having a party down below. I love it.
Better than beans.
Yeah, definitely better than beans. But also, you aged yourself with that the first time you did that for me. Beans. Go and do the song for those for people not in the UK. This was a song in adverts for Heinz beans in was it like the 80s?
I expect so.
Go on then.
Beans. Beans are good for your belly. Beans are good for your heart. But if you eat too many, they're sure to make beans.
Oh, if that doesn't turn up in a GIF somewhere, I'll be really upset.
If it does turn up, I'll be upset.
The first two on my TV are looking for. Yeah. The Bobiverse is great.
Yay.
Bobiverse is amazing. Everybody needs to do it. Oh my god, The Cosmiconics is one of the most interesting and unique sci-fi books I've ever read. Would definitely recommend. What is this book called? The book is called We Are Legion, the first book in the Bobiverse by Dennis E. Taylor. Oh, Smitten for Fiction, thank you for joining. Does that mean Lovely Wife Helen likes book spoilers, the horror? It depends on what you're reading though, doesn't it? Because like, for example, you're now listening to Pretty Girls by
Yes.
Karen Slaughter, and I listened to that first, and I told lovely wife Helen that she should read it because she would like it. And when you started listening to it, it's a little bit disjointed at the start. The first couple of chapters are quite difficult, and so I feel like that you being able to say to me, does this get better?
Yeah.
Like, who is this person? Because we did a summary again, so I gave you a summary of what had already happened, so you could put it together in your head. And I think sometimes that helps, which is kind of like, I guess, what we do on BookTube a lot of the time, right?
But generally speaking, no, I don't like spoilers.
Yeah. Veronica, yes, my store ships to anywhere that has postal service. It goes everywhere. Yes, absolutely. Things We Say in the Dark by Kirsty Logan is such a lovely horror. Ooh, lovely horror. Yeah, we've met Kirsty several times. Kirsty's from our neck of the woods. She's lovely. She's really lovely. Also, she's the cutest thing ever, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's super cute. Oh, I had an eyelash, and you know that when you do that thing and your eyelids like, no, come back.
Open.
I was having a Captain Hook moment. Oh, hi, Literature Reads. How are you? Kirsty Logan. Yes, we do, Stan. We do indeed. Did you? Oh yeah, you answered horror. Yeah, you did answer what your genre that you. I'm sorry, I'm mildly obsessed with grooming you at the moment.
Okay.
Tell everybody what you're excited for coming soon. I've told them we've got Animal Crossing coming soon, but you've got...
Oh, I'm starting a new game I've never played before. Zelda.
She's got Zelda. It's her first Zelda.
I'm not a big gamer.
It's her first Zelda. It's her first Zelda. What is... I mean, though. Can we ever? Do you know what I feel like we need to end with on this live stream? I feel like I need to angle the computer down and we should play with the cats with a laser pointer for 5 minutes on the floor. What do you think, guys? Do you want some laser pointer kitty action? Because I guarantee you, I'm not going to turn it on yet, but I guarantee you when I press the button, they will all be like, oh, you will love it, lovely wife Helen. Oh, I'm happy you're here too, Literature Reads. Oh my god, I just got Zelda 2. Is it Breath of the Wild? Did you get Breath of the Wild? So we've got Link's Awakening coming, which is much more, the graphics are obviously much more along the lines of Animal Crossing. But we've got Breath of the Wild coming, which I think is what she's gonna love mostest. Cats, yes. All of the cat content. Right, we'll end in a minute doing that. So guys, in case anybody has joined us in the last hour that wasn't here in the first hour, I'm just gonna also, it's the internet, of course we want kitties.
It's the law.
Can't do Quentin as my soulmate, you're my other soulmate. Yes, so in case you missed my announcement at the start of the stream, tomorrow at 7 p.m. British Summer Time, did I do it right?
Did.
I did it right. There is going to be a video on my channel, and it is a massive announcement for something that is upcoming in May. Keep your eyes on BookTube because my video is not going to be the only video, and it is for a project which is super important and super close to my heart. I'm getting emotional again. Super important and super close to my heart, and we've been working really, really hard on it behind the scenes, and I think you guys are going to love it. And I'm so hopeful that it's something that you enjoy and you get behind. Because it's definitely close to our heart.
Yeah.
After the year that we have had. So there will be a video on my channel tomorrow at 7 p.m. Keep your eyes on BookTube. So shall we do some crazy kitties? That means you're gonna have to haul yourself back up. Isn't it good that this chair's here?
Otherwise, my knees.
What was the bookmark shop I mentioned? Elena Illustrations, on Etsy. Elena O'Neill Illustrations. She is the loveliest human being in the world. She watercolors all of her own designs. I am in eternal awe, and I think I own every single one of her bookmarks. Like all of her bookmarks. Could you move the camera gently, because Kiwi will cut you.
Yeah, she will.
Just so
Yeah, she's already trying.
Yeah. I hate you. Yeah. Don't worry, I won't. I will say goodbye before I leave, but I'll set you up for some kitty watching. Right, I'm gonna move the mic, so I'm sorry if it's a bit noisy for a sec. Okay. And the thing on the floor next to Kiwi is not a spider. It is a bookmark which they have a tassel from a bookmark which they have destroyed. Okay, can you guys see the floor? You can see all my pin flags in the background in the box. Are we ready? Are we ready? Is that it, lazy cat?
Yeah, that's as far as she's moving.
They're scared to run because Kiwi's here and she will slice them into a million pieces. Fez is like, why did you do that? Wholesome kitty content, that's what we need in our day.
Oh, good pants.
Oh, it's on you. It's like, no, Mummy, don't. Don't touch me. I will kill it. I will kill it, Mother. I will kill it. You're so lazy. You're such a lazy boy. Quality YouTube. Honestly, quality YouTube content right here. on my channel. They know you're trapped. Yes, they do, Rose. They're so lazy. Kitty circles. You spin me right, round. That is a bit mean. I am, Mighty Hunter for about 0.5 seconds. Totally accurate. He's taking after his dearly departed older brother, who was literally like... and that was it. Blob kitties, absolutely. Hey Carolyn, we're good. Unfortunately, we're just about to go, my lovely. Excuse me. Oh my god, cider burps for days. I should do your granny's rhyme. Excuse my cider burps. Okay, I'm gonna go, guys. It has been so nice talking to you, as always. My next stream will be next Saturday or Sunday. Keep an eye on my channel. Keep an eye on my channel tomorrow at 7 p.m. If you are a lovely Patreon of mine, thank you so much for being around. Oh, Nancy, hi. Oh, I love you too, girl. Going to read The Lost Man because of you. Yay!
Yes. Excellent.
Night Phoenix. The content I needed. Kitty's playing with laser pointer. Yeah, keep an eye on my channel at 7 p.m. Next stream next weekend. If you are a Patreon of mine or you would like a book club to join in this madness, my Patreon page is small and everybody is super lovely. We've got such a nice group of people. If you want to come talk about books, you can come talk about books there. Yeah, I think that's it. So I will be back with you next weekend. Much love. Thank you all so much for being here. Lovely Live Helen says bye. Thank you so much for being here again. You make these streams just... you make me so happy. Night, guys. Much love from us. Please stay safe and well, and I will speak to you all very soon. Bye.